So they'll still be doing this the whole night. So if you really want to wish... Oh, okay, so that is something that I haven't seen before. Good morning, fella. Don't stand in the way, because I'm gonna sort of lightly push you around. So this is the Junk Sledge that I have showed in previous episode, where I went through really what it's all about and how to use it, how to mod it and stuff like that. And it's a little bit of an interesting kind of thing in that you can use it as a handheld weapon. It doesn't do too much damage, but it can push things around. But where it really shines is when you put it down on the ground. And you do that by right-clicking, and it's down. And you'll see it's sort of seeking this area in front of it. And when it finds something, it will push it around. So if I spawn in a small little zombie, let's make a zombie Joe. Thank you very much. Come over here, sir, and see if it should be pushing it back, doing a little bit of damage. And for one zombie that is walking, normally one of these turrets are enough. See, it doesn't really kill it for a while. It's going to take a bit of a while before it actually will kill it. But what happens when we spawn in a couple more? So let's do that as well. And this is where the Junk Sledge has a little bit of an issue, because it can't quite keep up, and then they'll get through, especially if it's an open area like this. Okay, ladies, gentlemen. Alright. Of course, I haven't perked in. So the perk we are talking about here is Intellect perk, and as you see, as you go down, you deal more damage, headshot damage with it, and you have a greater chance to dismember. And that goes all the way down to 300% headshot damage and a 50% greater chance to dismember with the robotic turrets, which includes the Junk Sledge. You also have the Robotics Inventor. However, that one requires you to be Intellect level 3. But this is where you can craft the quality 2 sledges that deal a little bit more damage and fires faster, and that actually is really important. And you have an active range that increases from 10 to 14 meters, and you can actually deploy multiple of these ones at the same time, but only the closest will be active. As you go all the way down to, let's see here, Intellect level 10, you are now the top expert, which is good. There's probably not a lot of them around considering everyone died, but you can reload them faster. It doesn't really matter. The robot active range is 80 meters, which is helpful, but you can have 2 deployed robots active at once, and that means that you put 2 of them down, both will work. But even if you go down here, you'll see that they deal more damage and they fire faster, and they also reload more rounds, which of course doesn't matter because this is a Junk Sledge. But firing faster is actually really helpful, because it means that, oh, we are just clipping there, vanishing. It means that it can push more zombies off from you faster. So if you have 2 or 3 zombies, maybe you can keep up if it's really upgraded. So that's really useful. Beyond that, of course, the mods it has matters. It increases the damage, which is good, and it can do things like chance to stun and everything. And if you have something like this, you have a rad remover, which means that it will disable the regeneration ability for 90 seconds. It seems to take a few seconds before it actually kicks in, so it's a little bit weird. I didn't show that extensively in my previous video, because even though I realized it and I tested it out, it was like an extra 5-7 minutes just to get to the bottom, and I decided let's skip it. It does stop the regeneration, but it takes a few seconds before it kicks in, so it still is helpful. And then we have what I like to put on, basically putting a burning shaft mod, because it can set the zombies on fire as well, which is fairly useful. As you see here, I have the green, yellow, and red sledges. That is 1, 4, and 6 quality tier, which would correspond to, I guess, early game, because you can actually find this one or buy it fairly early. Mid-game or early mid-game, where you really are getting a little bit better quality stuff, and you can find a higher quality 3, 4, which you should be able to do when you start looting and you gain some levels and of course days. And then probably moving into somewhere mid-game where you're starting to find quality 6 stuff. You can find a quality 6 Junk Sledge, but the Junk Sledge, if it's tier 6, if it's fully kitted out, it can actually be pretty good. If you check the difference, this one has a melee damage of 13, this has a melee damage of 21, and this one obviously is only doing 58 attacks per minute. But if you buff it up like we just showed, then you can actually do quite a lot more damage, because you deal more damage and you have a faster fire rate. So with that said, there's a few ways to make a base, and one is simply to put it down and not on the concrete, but simply putting it down like this and having walls around it, something like this, to block off where the zombie actually can. Oh, I can't put it there. Let's do that, and let's put it, nope, something like this, so the zombies can't get past you. It can work. The problem is that if the zombies are numerous enough, it will basically not allow you to survive because it can't push them back fast enough. So we're not going to do something like this. A much better way is to find a good location, and we're going to show a couple of upgrading. I'm going to start with an early game base build that should be pretty reasonably okay. How much does that one have? Not a lot, so let's take one out as well. Let's assume you clear out a couple of these ones, and it's going to be a base build that you can use from early on, that you can actually upgrade and make even better as your skills and your quality of turret sledges or junk sledge actually improves as well. So we're going to start off by not using concrete, but we're going to assume that you have access to cobblestone, which is basically flagstone that you upgrade with the cobblestone rocks. And you actually want to make it fairly simple. So what you want to do is you want to give them a path up, and then by them I mean the zombies, a path up that they actually can access, and we can actually do like this as well, but it doesn't allow them to run up. Zombies have this really peculiar aspect of them that they can jump up and down, but it takes them a little bit of time. So they come up here, jump, and then move over here, jump, move over here, jump, move over here, jump, jump, and then they run down. And every time they jump up or fall down, they actually take a little bit of time that just delays them. So we're going to make use of that one to basically give us a little bit of a better chance to knock them off. So we're going to put this one something like this. Should be pretty good. I might have to change it a little bit, but let's start with that. And we're going to have a little bit of a platform that we can stand on. Something like that. Actually, let me give it one more here as well. You see, and this is our little platform, and at the front we are going to put some poles, and this is actually the wrong pole. Get away from me, you ugly pole. We're gonna have the other pole and cobblestone pole. Let's see if I get the right one. Yes, this is the correct one. We're gonna do like this, and we're gonna make it a couple high. Actually, we're going to make it 3 high just to be sure. Something like this. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Have it like this. We could... Let's do it like this and like this. Actually, see how this works? The zombies will come up here, and hopefully the junk sledge will actually push them off as well. And in addition to that, we will, let me just paint this just slightly differently so we can see it. And it's going to be this one, which is the one that we don't want them to breach. Again, this is just cobblestone, so if it gets damaged, you do have to repair it a little bit. And our kill zone, or rather push zone, should be here. I don't think they will push them there. I think that will be the wrong place. And this is basically where the zombies will be walking. Possibly there, definitely on these ones, depending on how many they are clumped together. Now you can choose a location that is favorable. I've chosen one that I happen to just run across. This would help to push them off. They will take a bunch of damage falling down because it's fairly high, and after that they will have to break their leg. Now they will run all the way up here again and restart and come back to you, and that makes it basically helps you spread out the zombie load. The 8 zombies per concurrent, well, the 8 concurrent zombies that we have enabled, and something like this probably would allow us to survive the first, second, and maybe third Blood Moon Horde. So let's see here. I think we are pretty much done here. We are going to just test this out. I'm also going to do, let's see, we could use another sledge. Let's get another low level sledge here. Ooh, this looks good at least, right? Sets on fire. So let's start with that. We have this. We have we could block off on the side, but on the first couple of holes you're unlikely to really need it. You could basically cover this around, and I'll probably do that later on for the later holes. But let's and let me assume I have a blunderbuss as well. That would be helpful. That one is fairly easy to get as well. So we're gonna put in a zombie, and we're gonna see what does a normal zombie do. Okay, normal zombie should be running up here. We're going to let's detach the camera a little bit here so we can see what it does. It jumps up here, it jumps up there, and bang, off it goes. Actually, I think I could actually do this slightly better. So let me, if I shift it, actually, which I probably should have, but I will. Let's shift this one up a little bit. Let's do this instead, and let's take something like this. We can probably take out, no, take out this one. This is, oh, alright, we can take out that one because everything will fall down then. So yeah, anyway, no one saw that anyway. Let's do, I think this would probably be pretty good. See how long it takes for it to come up here again. Of course, this is a normal regular zombie, so it's not a feral one, so it is slow. Oh, and there she goes. And she actually fell through the world. Are you serious? Oh, actually, she literally fell through the world. That's actually a really effective horde base. If they fall through the world, you have no issue with the zombies. But let's put in a couple of... let's do that. Let's put another one slightly further away. And let's put one there as well. Businessman. And let's shoot. Oh, they all got attracted. Let's see what happens. Them being a little bit spaced out, it does help because then they won't all be attacking at the same time. Oh, and she got, so she's running a bit faster. She got knocked down. Oh, she didn't manage to get up. All right, these ones are, oh, actually that's an interesting, okay, I don't know what's happening here, but this is a really effective horde base if they actually fall through the ground. And come on. Alright, so these ones have no chance of actually getting in there. Let's get a couple more ones. Let's get a couple of that. Let's get a couple of that. See if we can get a few of them to come up and see what happens. Now, remember, the vanilla game setting is only 8 concurrent zombies, and I think this one should be able to actually handle that. Yep. Yep. Oh, let's see. Okay, so you might have... let's see, this one, can she... Oh, no, it actually managed to deal with it by pushing it down. I wanted to see whether it actually would start attacking me, but no, you see these ones are now coming back, but it takes a while. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 concurrent. We have a couple that just fell through, and that one fell down itself. That one also fell down, that one fell down, and that one also fell down. So something like this, early game, seems to be really, really useful because it does take a little bit of cobblestone, but it's actually not a lot. And see, oh, yep, that one fell down. I mean, you see, they sometimes fall by themselves, like here, they bump each other off, and even if they don't, then the Junk Sledge is pushing them off as well. Let's see what happens here. Let's try again, another couple of them coming here, and bam, down it goes. Try again. She's gonna maybe fall off. Nope. Okay, that one, yep, they're all falling off. And you see how easy this is? I could probably sit a whole horde like this. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to give myself some levels, give self XP, something like this, to see what level I end up on. 8. Let's do a little bit more. Let's assume I'm a little bit faster than that. I'm level 14. And I'm going to start a day 14 horde here. So let's go to set time 14. Going to do 21:55. We're going to do like that. Yes. And we have this one. We probably should get some lanterns though, just to have a little bit of light. Lantern. And let's can't put that one there. Let's assume we put it here. We put one here maybe, and put one here. Right? Actually, that's a bad place. Let's go down here. Okay, so now we do have. Oh, That's a lot of vultures here. I wonder if that's because I was out and flying and above. Okay. Die! No, no, you're wrecking my. Oh, come on. Good thing I'm in. Actually, I wonder why there's so many. I think it could be because I'm flying around. I suspect that's what it is. Let me come down here. I think it's because I'm flying around in God mode. And if let's do a kill all. Okay. Now I'm should not be getting all these vultures. Yeah, now we're not getting vulture. I think it's because I was flying. That's really interesting. Entity killed. Yes, it's got something to do with me flying around. Okay, fine. So that shouldn't be happening. It's probably because I was in God mode flying around right as the horde started, and the game is like, no. Flying means that no, sir. You're probably in a gyrocopter, and we're gonna take care of that. All right, let's see here. Horde comes in, and I think this one has no problems at all. Taking care of it. Yep, he bounced it. But now, because I'm that level, I probably would have gotten a couple of points in this. Something like that. Maybe another one. I do another one. Let's say I have something like this, so I do a little bit more damage, and I have at least one in this one. Which means that, let's see, if I just stand here and wait, it pushes it off just fine. Now we're gonna see if I do this. Is the vulture's gonna come back? Hopefully not. See how this go. See, this low-level turret has no issue with keeping up with 8 concurrent zombies. Now, of course, I have a pretty good location here where it takes them a while to drop down, but you could actually do this up on a PUI or something. On a hill would probably work as well if it has a sort of a sharp edge as well, like maybe not here, but you know, there are definitely other places around. Because they do get spread out, and the fire rate is fast enough to deal with these 8 concurrent ones. I don't think this is an issue. It doesn't really matter whether they are feral or regular, because the main thing is that they will actually get pushed off. Now, you won't necessarily kill them. I would have to stand here and shoot. If I was using a bow and arrow, for instance, I could just peg them in the head as they came up here, or maybe here, or maybe here, and get the experience that way. I'm a little bit too far away for me to melee them myself. Let's see when they come up here. So I'm out of God mode here. Let's see if I can... Oh, okay, I didn't reload. Let's assume I reloaded. Okay, that one got knocked off, and you... Oh yeah, I can definitely... Oh, I can't even get that loot. It's slightly too far. But you see, if I don't shoot them... And no, don't knock down my loot. Come on, we're supposed to be best friends here. Oh, and another shot there. So even with the blunderbuss, this is actually close enough for me to do that. No issue whatsoever. Well, we won the game, right? This early, Junk Sledge, and there's actually very few builds that... Coming back to this is actually, I would consider a totally non-cheese build. And there are very few non-cheese builds that would actually allow you to survive a horde this easily with literally just using one weapon. Or two. I mean, I'm using the blunderbuss as well. But even if I was just using this one, I would be able to survive the horde simply by having it push everyone off this cliff, or off this bridge rather, and surviving that way. And all I'm using is the fact that zombies are a little bit slow when they jump up and down. Nothing else. So we pretty much beat the game if we're in an interlinked build. But obviously, as we go further, we probably want to make this a little bit better because, well, we want to kill the zombies. We're probably going to get a lot of radiated and stuff like that. So what will we do if we end up this one being a little bit mid-game? I've now expanded this space, and let me take out a couple things that shouldn't be there, and these ones. So now I've expanded this, and this is concrete. It's actually not reinforced concrete. It's actually normal concrete, which is accessible fairly early. I have made these ones reinforced concrete simply because these are the only ones that are really likely to take some damage if the turret or junk sledge doesn't have enough time to bounce them off here. So again, as before, we are expecting them to come up here from this side. They will make their way up here along the stairs, just like before. They will congregate here, possibly here. And what we really want to do is bounce them off this area. So this is the kill area. And of course, we're going to be putting our... But the junk sledge will be somewhere here. The reason I put 4 here is that because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to position otherwise, so you don't hit it yourself when you're bashing. But if you put it slightly here, it's a little bit easier. And something like this. So let's take this one and let's finish off this one just so we know exactly where they're going to be going. And yeah, something like this. And you might wonder, well, that's all good and dandy, but how do you get into your own base? Because obviously you can't here. But if you saw what I put on the back, this is what I would normally do. I would just basically have a ladder up or something, put a hatch in, and you're all good to go. I also put in some bars here, iron bars, so that if there are any vultures up there, and of course I'm not going to be flying this time, so we shouldn't be seeing all those weird vultures. And that's something, again, just to clarify what happened there. The game seems to detect that if you're in a vehicle, for instance, and apparently also if you're flying, which I was doing in God mode, and then decides that, hey, you know, we're going to kill you. We're going to send all these vultures to kill you. And this should work pretty well. We're going to toss off this one. We're going to be using a revolver instead because, well, we're mid-level, and we're going to go give myself some XP, give self XP. Let's go like that. Level 39, that sounds about reasonable. And let's say we have done a little bit of, not on this one, boomstick. No, it should be Vedui. Is that with... That's with rifles. That's not what we want. We want to have gunslinger. So give a few in this one. And we can do that. And let's have a couple of gunslinger as well. And of course we have made our turret a little bit better as well, as we have teched up. So we do that. Let's do that as well. So it's going to be firing 90% faster, which should really help. Of course, we're going to use the tier quality 4 rather, junk sledge. We're going to put it as something like this. I think would be good. I think that would work. And let's yeah, this will work. I mean, we should be able to stand here. I could hide here a little bit if I really wanted to from vultures. And of course, I can go up and down. They shouldn't be coming there either. Like that. Maybe some whites will be coming. Maybe some strippers. Right, okay, they're becoming now. You just get a few of them coming by here. These are feral, but it shouldn't really matter, as you can see, because it's not meant to really deal... Okay, I think one of them fell by himself, but it's not really meant to deal damage. It's meant to just buff them off here. And of course, there's something really weird with this location, but that's all right. Let's see, we get another one in here. Get another white. Let's get that. It doesn't really matter who it is, because whether they have 500 hit points or 2000 hit points or 3 XP, it doesn't really matter. Another thing to keep in mind, and we'll go into that a little bit when we have the horde, you do want to have the sledge turret probably on the other side actually, and I should have probably done that on this side. If you are more clever than me when you're building, you might want to do this in mirror image so that you have the junk turret on this side instead, so that if there is a demolisher, that it won't explode. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but it could. So let's put in a demolisher. Let's put him there. It'll take him a while to get up. You see, the junk sledge has no issue with pushing off these zombies here. Doesn't really matter. You see, because oh, come on, demolisher. Play ball a little bit here. Don't fall off by yourself. Now, because of this side, you see the button of the demolisher is on this side. It could actually trigger it. And there he goes. It doesn't really take a lot of damage, as you can see, because he's got armor as well. So the regular ones, no issue. Demolisher, it probably should be alright. He might get the C4 set off, but then he'll probably explode, hopefully when it's in the midair, and if not, probably when it's down here somewhere, and he'll make a bit of a hole here, which hopefully shouldn't be an issue. If you have too many that are exploding though, I guess that could be a problem. You see here, oh, that could be an issue. It did knock one of them down, and it actually blew up his pack, unfortunately, and this is why, yeah, I guess it could take, I don't know how far. These ones go quite far down here, but it means that you end up having a bit of a hole here if you get too many of the demolishers that you're not dealing with. So yeah, if you're gonna build this, build it on this side, and you do make the risk a little bit smaller, it probably still can set them off. So that's something that is a little bit unavoidable because it is a push and it will be hitting him mainly in the chest. But before then, let's check out how does it actually work if we're having a Blood Moon Horde here. So let's have the Blood Moon Horde coming in, and we are at, let's see, game stage 93. We are day 49. So it's gone up since before. I've brought it to a little bit higher day count at 49, and of course giving myself some levels just to see what happens at this game stage. And 93 game stage is actually, I would probably consider it mid-game somewhere, because you start to see a lot more of the feral ones. I don't think you're going to get any demolisher. I think that those ones show up way later. So even here, I mean, I could sit out. I probably don't have to do any shooting at all if I don't want to. If I want to, I could stand here anyway. So let's see here. Let's give her a little bit of a pop in the head. Oh, and I missed her. I missed her again. If you just get to where they end up, you can actually time it pretty well. Because most zombies are roughly the same height. So he's going to get off. See where the next one end up. There he goes. And another one. And another one. And oh, you get the picture. And you see, because it takes them so long to get up here. Now, this one is potentially an issue. Oh, but he is... oh, he jumped off himself, so that's even better. Oh, ooh! You saw that actually. Another reason why you want to put the Junk Sledge one up, because you have a higher chance of hitting them in the head. And you saw that it basically blew up his head. And oh, and he fell off himself. Come on, that doesn't help me showcase things very well. I can do that. I can shoot him, shoot it, and the ones you don't shoot get pushed off. So this way you get a bunch of experience as well. You do obviously have to use your weapons, but you know, that's part of the fun when you're playing the game, right? And that one goes off, and he gets off, and she goes off as well. A little bit of headshots. Isn't this fun? And if I just want to stand here, I can probably just hide here the whole night as well. It would be roughly the same thing, so let's do that. Now I'm just hiding. Nothing can see me. But they still want to go the same direction. So they'll still be doing this the whole night. So if you really want to oh, okay, so that is something that I haven't seen before. I have not seen that happen. So what happened is that the zombie got pushed in through the bars by the Junk Sledge. Alright, so you might not want to idle the whole horde through, because they could get pushed in here. Well, I was glad that I saw that actually. I didn't know that could happen, but he gets pushed down. If that doesn't happen, I think we should be pretty good. I wonder if it's simply the spider zombie, but maybe other things like dogs potentially could. Potentially. But beyond that, this is really, really safe and really, really dull. But we could do it even better. Let's assume we're getting a little bit late game here. We are set time, let's say day 125 at 12 noon. Oh, so we're definitely late, and then we are a lot higher level. So we do give self XP, we give ourselves 10, 100, 1 million, 10 million. See, we're level 100. Alright, so we're really high level now, which means that we'll have a really high game stage as well. Comparably, how could you make a build like this even better? Well, for one, we are going to put down obviously a tier 6 sledge turret, which is something like this. We're going to put it in the same location, do that. But that's not enough. I mean, that's never going to be enough. So we're going to have to do a little bit of other things as well to be a little bit creative about well, what we actually want to do. So we're going to put one, actually we're not going to do that. We're going to take this one out. Let's do something like this. Now switch this one around so that it's actually standing up. Come on. Be this way, yes. We're going to have that one. We're going to have an electric fence there. We are also going to... Hello. Alright, that was not so interesting. And we're going to put one here as well. Again, these are reasonably straightforward things. You actually don't need very much in order to do that. And we are going to do something like that. And we're going to put it up. Oh, actually, that means I don't need to do that. Probably just put it like that. So now we're going to put in some electric fences, which is actually not a lot. It's really straightforward to do. We're going to put in a switch here. Do that here at the bottom, and then we're going to wire it off. We're going to go from the generator down to the switch. The switch to the left side here. I'm going to do the switch to the left side here. We're going to do this switch to the, well, you get the point, the left side down here. This will help us to just slow down the zombies, because I'm going to crank up the zombie count to probably, let's do something like 24 or 32 or something, which obviously means it's going to be a lot more hectic. Something like this. So we are not going to have more ways to kill them, except we're going to be shooting a little bit, and we're not going to be using a magnum. Let's bring in a desolate vulture, because we're high level. We probably found one. And just something like this means that hopefully we can bump everyone off. Let's bump our intellect all the way up. Let's say we did that. And then we have the robotics inventor. Well, now since we can have two, well, we might as well just have two, right? If I had a second robotic sledge, I'd put it here. That's a good point. Can I, let's see, can I put them? I can put this one here. I put this one, of course, I put it here, right? That should be enough to bump off anything that comes, because I have two of them, right? Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll work just fine. These ones are likely to degrade during the whole night, but that's all right. They're just there to slow things down a little bit, and we can turn them off for a while initially and not have them on. Let's turn it, do this like that. Something like this. So we haven't actually done a lot of changes. We've added an extra turret. We've bumped up our skills a little bit. We put in some electric fences. You probably want to protect these from cop vomit and stuff like that, because that could obviously be an issue. But yeah, something like that. So I'm going to restart the game. I'm not going to bring in a nice 32 concurrent size horde. Isn't this exciting? Oh, look at it. We now have two of them. I have given myself a couple of plates to stand behind, because I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to get cop vomit destroying things before we are really ready. And we are now day 154, obviously, so we have a fairly high game stage of 240 here. I have bumped up to 24, actually not even 24, 32 concurrent zombies. Let's see where they actually end up spawning. Over there. Alright, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. The two of them should be able to really deal with most of them. I have not turned on the electric fences yet. I figure I'll leave that a little bit and see. Well, one went down. Second went down. We do get some vultures, which is fine. Third went down. Fourth went down. Actually, I think only one might be needed here. I might actually need two of them. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have two. Remember, this is 32 concurrent, so it's taking a while for them to spawn in. I think I can... 31, 32... Okay, so now we have 32 zombies on. You see, that's why it's not spawning more. Any that it will be spawning will be because any of them died. Let's see, I wonder if I'm actually... Okay, let's reload that one here. Alright, we reloaded the gun. You see... Because there's such a narrow area here, they have big problems actually jumping up. They tend to not attack. Again, these are still just regular concrete. They are not even reinforced concrete. They tend to not attack because they're really trying to path up, and there's nothing blocking them except other zombies. And when it's just other zombies, they tend to not really want to do anything except to try to jump up. And you see how this looks? I mean, doesn't this just look amazing? We have a vulture, which is fine. They all keep getting bashed down. And actually, the first turret, a Junk Sledge rather, is quality 4. And the other one is quality 6. And I probably... Let's do this. Let's change them. Something like this. Okay, then we have the one that can actually set them on fire, that is at the top. Do that, and we go back into our little change here and do that. Let's see, can we set them on fire? We do have a vulture that is, oh yeah, this is even better. So we had something like this, you definitely want to use the Junk Sledge that can set them on fire. Doesn't that just look so much better? See them falling down while being on fire. This one is going to take a while before I actually can get through there. I'm not going to bother. It takes a few hits before you can actually set them on fire. And yeah, I got some experience because it killed one of them there. It's not a lot of experience. I think that if you set them on fire, you might kill them eventually, but you will not get the experience. It's one of those really weird things that I believe that... Oh, okay, she was jumping really weirdly there. But this is 32 concurrent zombies, and that was a headshot that gave me some experience. So I can just sit here, and I'm literally just hiding. I'm not doing anything. And this base has no problems at all to take care of 32 concurrent. Let's say you want to do some active shooting here. Let's do that, so we can actually stand here, use our Desert Vulture, could bash them, and shoot them. They're coming over there. We could get a little bit of a headshots probably. They look kind of funny as they jump up and down. And let's see, let's actually turn on this one as well. Even more so. Now they're all stopping here. And getting some headshots because they get buzzed by the electricity as soon as they get up here, which gives you a lot of time to basically just headshot them. Now this one is, last I checked, is actually within range of my repairs. I believe if I shoot this one, I should be able to, you see, I can just hit it, so I can actually repair it as well. And I can stand here all night probably and just headshot them. The ones that are further down, I can't actually repair them because they're too far. But this one, no, oh, no issue at all. And bust, headshot. And down there actually is a pretty good spot as well. No way to collect the loot though, unless you really want to run down there. But at least you can get a lot of really nice kills here. And if you want to, you can just idle out pretty much. You probably want to keep a little bit of an eye on things. Because of the design, it doesn't matter whether they're feral, radiated, or normal ones, because you're not really worrying about killing them from sheer damage output. You are just trying to bump them off, which softens them up as well, because they will take damage falling down. They'll take some damage from the head bump that they're getting, and then eventually you'll end up killing them, or they die simply from the fall damage, and then you get another one spawning in as well. So it's really easy on the ammunition as well. Headshots are effective if you can actually hit them. Like there, like there, like, come on, one more. Can I get one more? It's so effective I can't even get them up here. There we go. Yes. Look at that. And let's bring ourselves in here as well. And just look at how pretty this looks. All these night lights. Now this one on the outside will be the first one to give, because let's see here. Yeah, you see this one is almost degraded fully. Oh, you saw this demolisher? It should be alright. So this one will be degrading really soon, and then it will no longer electrocute any of the zombies. The second one will take a little bit longer, and this one obviously will take the longest. Not that it matters, because this one is really the one you really want to have working, because it means that whenever they jump up here, they will be stunned and you can shoot them, or they have ample time to get knocked off by the turrets. So yeah, I don't think there's really much more I can show you. I could just do this all night and I would not be in any danger at all. The only potential risk, as I mentioned, oh, you see all the green ones. The only potential risk you have is the demolisher. The demolisher, if he blows up in the wrong place, let's see what happens here. Like there. Oh, here's the second one. That. Good thing I got that on my video. If this happens, and again, you probably don't want to do this kind of base late game anyway. Now you have a problem, because now the zombies have no way up, and this is when they're going to be bashing everything. So early game, mid game, just fine. Late game, when you start to get the demolishers, you probably want to do something else because, sorry, even though the sledge turret is pretty good, if it sets off a demolisher and you have destruction like this, then you're gonna have a problem because the zombies no longer have anywhere to go, and they'll be, as you see, taking you down. Wow, I'm glad I got to see that. Anyway, I'll catch you again next time. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like on the video? Maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But that'll be it. Good night. I'll see you next time. Ooh, another one blowed up.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedui community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.